I am back. Okay. Like I never left. You're going to see me a lot more often. So I just hope you're prepared for that. I'm just saying. But yes, I'm super excited to be here with you again today. If you don't know, we are doing our virtual launch for our book, Employee to Empire, where, I'm very big on bringing people with me and teaching and helping people along the way. And so this was the purpose of writing this book, because I know what it feels like when you're in a corporate job, or you have dreams, you don't necessarily know what to do or how to do. And so this is what this book is. It's literally a how to become a successful business owner. And I just love to bring amazing people along with me. Actually more than amazing. You're amazing, but the people that are on this book are extraordinary and phenomenal. And so I'm super excited to have one of our amazing business owners on today. And I'm super, super excited because he's from the Bronx like me. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we take it over. New York is taking over. Like I'm just saying, right? We only getting started, right? Just saying. But yeah, so I'm super excited again to be here with you. I hope you've enjoyed all the previous episodes. If you have not gotten your copy of Employees to Empire, I need you to go do that right now. If you haven't seen the website at least 3 times in that amazing video trailer, go to employeetoempire.com and purchase your copy. But besides that, I'm just excited to bring our amazing business owner on. I was super hyped when I seen him on social media, just taking over the world, just like making accomplishments, crushing his goals. In my opinion, he's out here just like inspiring myself and so many others. So say hello to the beautiful people.
Hey, what an intro. I don't even know where to start. Gosh, I can't follow that up.
Because you're just a whole vibe. Like, it's so amazing to have you here. Like,
Thank you.
I'm very, it takes a lot to impress me, right? And your branding and your creativeness and your designs and your drive and all of the accomplishments that I've seen. And I've only been following you for like less than a year. So I can only imagine what you've done in previous years. So I'm super honored to have you here. So tell the beautiful people about yourself. I'm gonna give you 60 seconds and I'm gonna give you the stage too. So do your thing.
Okay, beautiful people, amazing people. I'm Mugzy McFly. I'm a designer, fashion and creative, part-time superhero. If I think it, I create it. I save the day from here to here. I'm self-taught when it comes to graphic design and as well as fashion. I was a business major. I use it a little bit in my everyday life. But I got my experiences and my strengths from the Bronx and my environment. Simple.
I love it. Talking about the Bronx. So tell the people where you're from and a little bit about yourself.
All right, so I'm from Bronx, New York. I'm a self-made business entrepreneur and graphic designer, fashion designer, and all-around creative. I think I built on my own from desire.
Right. And so how did you get started? Because first of all, you're in your own studio right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I just
Tell
opened
the
up
people
in
where your studio
October,
is.
right here in the Bronx. I would say I probably always just loved sneakers and fashion. And I used to model for brands before. That kind of opened my palette to like, you could actually do this. It was fun. You could make money off it. I wanted to help them, and it just evolved into me helping myself. So I like clothes, and I can make money off of it. Why not?
Right. 1 + 1 = 2, right? So let's make it happen. So what was the first item that you designed?
All right. That's a 2-part question. The first item I designed was a shirt. The first successful item I designed was a phone case.
Oh.
I tried to make a shirt and it didn't work out. My Photoshop skills wasn't there, so I had the file all wrong.
Right.
And I ended up, it cost me a lot of money to do that over and over and over again, sampling. So I decided I'm gonna make phone cases a little bit cheaper. And I felt like with phones, everybody has their phone with them at all times.
Right.
It's automatic promotion. No matter where you go, the name is there. You're with them. So if you're somebody's phone case, you're with them at all times.
Right.
So that was marketing very much my brand, and that was it.
So like, when you created the phone case, did you sell it to like vendors, or was it just, hey, I have phone cases, buy them for me, and it is blew up from there?
I'm really, really big on like direct to consumer, because then going to other people at volumes is good, but you don't control that flow. It can help, but if everything is going streamlined between you, you get more profit, you have a better relationship. It's just
Yes.
better in the long run.
Yes. Yes.
The volume per se, yeah, whatever, but the quality of a relationship is not the same. Like
Right.
I
Let me.
like people, my friends seeing
Yeah.
it and wanting to get it, and I see them with it. I
Mhm.
like that feeling.
Absolutely. He's not lying. I purchased some slides over the summer because I was just like, I need them. They're super cute. And then when I listen, I tried to like figure out my size, and sometimes it just doesn't work very well when you're going from European to, the regular numbers, right? And so I reached out and literally we met and he hand delivered me. I don't know if you remember that. You literally handed me my slides, and I was like, that was so fire. I really want to buy even more. I'm just saying. So that
Yeah,
like customer service is amazing. Go ahead.
yeah, like that's another thing. Like to have the experience. Oh, I just ordered something. You're not gonna remember the day, but the
Mhm.
interaction, how it went, how you felt
Mhm,
about it, how you
mhm,
felt about the product on top of it.
mhm.
It's just like a very nicely constructed sandwich that you're just
Absolutely.
gonna love and you're always gonna remember.
Absolutely.
Presentation, and it's honest. It's just how I feel. I just want you. If you're gonna support me, I
Mhm.
want to make sure that it's in the best way and you're comfortable and you're happy with your product.
Yes, like that's absolutely true. I like listening to you. You have like you're creative, and a lot of people that are creatives don't necessarily have a business, like a business idea or a business model, but you do. You're like my marketing strategy, customer service, like those are key components to really truly being successful. So it's really great to hear you say those things, right? And so having like the dual is what I call a duality of it all. It makes you that much more successful, and it makes you reach even more people because you understand the concept of design and creative and output, but then you also understand the interaction with individuals, and that creates a long lasting relationship and also brand and as well as marketing. So I'm just saying that's
I try
amazing.
to tell people like there's always like a little extra. There's intangible things you should do because
Hmm.
anybody could print something on a hoodie or a hat or whatever, but
Right.
that extra of customer service, yo, I'm closed, but I need this to go out tonight. Me opening up or giving you an appointment or making
Hmm.
something happen for you
Hmm.
is different.
Yep.
People remember how you treated them,
Yep.
how you made them feel, and
Absolutely.
that's what it is. So and that's
Absolutely.
important to me. And I feel like if we all making shirts and hoodies and whatever, what's going to set us apart? It's going to be the customer
Absolutely.
service, me shipping on time, me meeting up with you, me making sure that you are completely satisfied with your product. So that's what I strive.
Yes, I love that. Oh my gosh, you're like you're singing to my heart. Like I was in hospitality, sorry, for like almost 10 years. I literally resigned in 2019. I was a general manager. So you would be like the ideal like ideal person that I would hire. Like, yes, he understands the concept of customer service and making sure not that the guest is always right because or the person is always right because
Yeah,
sometimes we'll be wrong. Like, let's be real, right?
trust me, I know. Trust me, I know.
Right, but it's also just it's creating an experience, right? And that creates brand loyalty. And so that's so amazing to hear you say, to be very honest. What would you say is one of like right now you're sitting in your own studio and you opened that when last year?
No, actually, I just opened this October. Well, it is last year.
Right, like right.
Technically, you made it seem so long. I'm like, last year. It's 3 months, but it is last year. I just opened it. Um, yeah, I just wanted to be back home.
Mhm,
And before this, I had a store in the mall in White Plains, which I just
mhm,
closed the 31st a couple of
mhm,
days ago.
mhm,
I wanted to, focus more on my brand alone because here sells
mhm,
only my brand, over there sold a bunch of brands, and I
mhm.
wanted to be back home. I feel like in the mall, I'm a dime a dozen. Not necessarily my kind of store, but a store. Like
Yes.
come uptown and be able to get like this kind of brand and quality right here where I'm from. You don't have that. If anything, it's
Right.
a store, it's a rainbow, it's something of that nature. Nah, like to have the
Not a
style.
rainbow.
I'm telling you, I'm really mad. My old block down the block, they opened a rainbow. I was so mad. Like, oh God, like
Like
that.
why?
You don't
I
want to see
remember Rainbow when I used to work at Playland when I was like a teeny bopper. Like Rainbow, like who? I even know they was still.
it's still very much popping. Very much popping. Trust me.
I cannot. So, what would you say is one of the biggest obstacles from start to where you are now?
I would always say maybe, funding, because
Mm,
as a
mhm, mhm,
creative,
mhm, mhm.
all you ever really want to do is create. And like I always want to just create, create, create. And it's never really about the money with me. It's more so, oh, I like shoes. Let me create sneakers. But then, the minimum to create sneakers and the cost to create sneakers is very high. So you have to conflict, like you said, duality with creativity and business mind. And it's like you don't sometimes you lose with that. I might just want to, I see something, I want to create something new, but The other product I just dropped 2 weeks ago is still on its run, and I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
stop that because I'm just mentally want to create something new.
Yes.
And I think if you're financially stable, you can do whatever you want. But
Right.
being able to keep the market and know the flow and manage your funds
Yep.
plays a very key part. Like even starting up, even going through the little droughts after the
Mm-hmm.
holidays, like now where it's supposed to be a drought, it's been pretty good so far.
Mm-hmm.
But January, February is usually a drought when it comes to most businesses.
Right. Right. Right.
So it's just a lot of things like that, like surviving those droughts.
Mm-hmm.
For me.
Yes. So you were talking about like your process, and as I said earlier, I'm a creative too. And like I worked on this project and I was like 17 projects later and all of these ideas and things start coming and like I'm a person like I don't know how to wait. I learned delayed gratification, right? But like I want to do things now. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, download. Okay, how can I make this happen? Like while I'm working on something else, I start Googling, like, oh, okay, that's a great idea. Let me look at see how we can get that executed. So I know exactly what you mean.
It never turns off ever.
Ever. And
Middle
I'm
of the
not
day.
complaining, like, don't turn it off. Thank you. Right. But not exactly. But it's
Some
more
people,
of
some
like,
people
how do
can't turn
you
it on.
not
Some people can't turn it on, so it's a blessing.
exactly exactly.
Yes.
So what would you say is your creative process? That's one. And then how in regards to production and getting it from idea to it being on a shelf, what does that process look like?
Um, it's just needs and wants. I could wear something from another brand and like it, and emulate it, and oh, I want something like this for my brand. Okay, I see that someone comes in here and I have an orange suit, and they're like, orange is a little bit too much for the average person, and they need something common. So I might start thinking that might spark. Is I feel like most creation is problem solving. So it's to solve a problem. The best creation solve a problem. So now, okay, let me make a better quality black suit that they can wear often, but the quality is very high. The price point could be cool, and I can have like multiple essential colors. And that's what ends up happening. So I see something, I see a problem, or I have a conversation, then I go, sit down, design, or I even end up testing like other products that exist like that, and then I design, then I get a sample, and then once I live with the sample, sometime I already know I'm gonna make it no ifs, ands, or buts, as long as the sample's functional. Or sometimes I wear something and I get feedback, even though I don't ask for it, but I could get the feedback. There's enough feedback to be like, okay, yeah, I'm definitely making this, and that's usually my process for the most part. Like just building off of ideas and feelings and emotions. That's it.
Yeah, listening to you, I'm like, yeah, I don't design clothes as you see. I love clothes, right? But like from a creative standpoint and a design standpoint, it's like the same process. It's like, okay, what's the problem and what is the resolution? Like what is the point? What is the strategy, right? And so then it's like, okay, let me research and see like what would work, why it would work, how I can make it work, right? Then it's like, okay, now let's test it.
Or
Let's put some things together and see how it works and how it functions and what benefit it will add. And so like listening to you, you're like I'm literally like yes, exactly. Because a lot of people don't have that creative like flow in that way, so it's like really great to hear from other creatives in that way as well. And then you're touching on the business side, so I'm like we about to be best friends because like that's literally how I function. I know how to run a business, know how to run an operation, but I also have the creative side as well. And so it's really great to hear from you and what you say. So what would you say is your biggest accomplishment to date? Well, no, we know the studio, but outside of that, what would you say?
um, I would probably say just creating a sneaker. Even though I'm
Mhm.
up to two styles, I feel like that's my biggest accomplishment. My last sneaker, because the simple idea, like I said, anybody could wake up and go print a hoodie, make some pants, a shirt. Maybe if not at the same day, maybe a week. But to create an actual sneaker,
Mhm.
a lot harder. Like
Mhm.
with clothing, it has to be a certain size, fit, whatever. You don't have to be. It can be off, and you can still
Mhm.
wear it. With
Mhm.
sneakers to walk around with the right fit, functionality, quality, and everything. It's a lot
Mhm.
heavier. If somebody's shirt doesn't get a hole in it, they probably won't beat you up about it. But if your
Mhm.
shoe starts falling apart, it's a whole different thing. So it's a
Mhm.
lot more to do, and it's like I said, it's more costly. It's a longer process, and I believe that you have to be a big boy in this business
Mhm.
to do that to make full.
Right.
But there's how many independent sneaker brands can you find, or even footwear, period? Like,
Right.
how many people can you buy slides from that is not Nike, Adidas, or Puma and them guys? Like, I don't know. I
Right.
honestly don't know.
Right.
So I feel very accomplished for that part of my brand, and it's
Absolutely.
full circle because that was what got me into fashion was footwear.
Hmm. And also it's the quality, right? Because let me tell you something. I wore the hell out them slides. I tell you that much, right? They they came with me to Mexico. They
Oh
went with
my
me to Florida, like on a regular day, like 'cause they were so comfortable. So I need you to keep coming out with those, like for sure. I
No,
definitely want
like
to see
it's
you
so
this.
crazy because people wear them and then the white gets dirty.
Hmm.
I wanted a white and black contrast, but I wouldn't
Right.
think anyone's gonna wear it that much. But
Hmm.
people get them dirty, be like, "Yo, I gave one to my mom. I don't need another one." Like,
Right.
and it's just like, wow, it just keep everybody for that for sure is a repeat buyer.
Hmm.
Every single person is a repeat buyer.
Hmm.
I need another pair. I personally have a pair for the studio, pair for
Hmm.
storage, pair for home, pair for vacation.
Right.
Like I'm gonna go different places for each of these joints. So
Right.
it's
That's
crazy.
amazing. No, the quality is definitely there. So that's definitely definitely a seller, right? Because a lot of times, like you said, there's so many vendors, there's so many options, right? But it's about the level of service, but it's also about the quality of the product as well. And that's where a lot of people lack. So you do like really, really great work. So shout
Thank
outs to
you.
you for that for sure. So my other question is, so in regards to the ideas and the concept from a manufacturing standpoint, like what is that process? Like do you like sit there and make them one by one, or do you go to like a third party manufacturer? And what does that look like for you?
So it depends.
Hmm.
There are some t-shirts that I make right here at the
Hmm.
studio because
Hmm.
I also make other people brands as well.
Mm.
So depending on what it is,
You better go ahead.
so right then and there, I could just, I could have an idea right now after this interview and mock it up on this laptop or the laptop over there and get the sizing right and test it, see how I
Mhm.
like it, boom, try again if I don't like it. Or like for most of the other stuff, like let's say sneakers, I'll have a design, maybe a drawing, and I'll send something over, like the idea how I want it to look, like a visual. And then
Mhm.
there's like for a hoodie, I might say I want it heavy. I want 100% cotton. I want embroidery logo or whatever. And I always do sampling. So I would get a sample, my size, because sometimes you get it from overseas or something, and the larger for like a medium or larger for like,
Mhm.
so you got to get the sizing right and the
Mhm.
quality right and the
Mhm.
location and everything. And once I'm satisfied with the sample, I produce.
Gotcha.
Then after I produce, I plan the market and release and everything else.
Right. That's
Product,
amazing.
product is king. So that's what you're selling. You got to make sure that's perfect. Anything
Right.
else you can finesse, but not the product.
Right. When you said perfect, it triggered me, child, because like I'm a recovering perfectionist. So
I've learned not to be. I've absolutely. I can't lie. I've absolutely learned not to be. It's tough because most entrepreneurs are perfectionists, and I learned that for you to get to the next level, you can't be because that means no one could work for you. And if no one could work for you, then you're gonna burn yourself out. You're
right.
not gonna make $1 million
By
working
yourself.
1 million hours. You do 100, you do 100, you do 100, you do 100, and next
Right.
week you do it again, and
Right.
you make it. So
Exactly.
I've
Exactly.
learned that I might operate at 100, but the business honestly could survive and be great at 80.
Hmm.
My perfection. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I've learned because I was also a perfectionist. Like I'm not releasing this until this is folded this way, and I have this campaign. And it's like, uh-uh.
Listen,
You be trapped in a box that way.
what a box. Like it feels like
A
my
cell.
first book that I wrote under my publishing company. So I always knew that I wanted a publishing company. I didn't want to help publish other people's books, but I knew that I would be coming out with multiple books. But the first book that I did under mine, it went through at least 5 rounds of editing. I changed the title twice. I changed the cover twice. Like I just went insane, and just that's just how I functioned in life for a very long time. But then I learned the F it button, right? So now I'm just like, it's just like screw it, because what happens is when I start looking at what other people do, and I don't do comparison at all, but it helps me from a perfectionist standpoint because they be putting up like they did that and they proud of that. Like I could do 1 million times better. This looks like that, and I'm not even You know what I'm saying? So yeah, absolutely right. And kind of having to shift your mind and like release those things so that you can just move forward. And from a scaling perspective, you're absolutely right. In order for you to really truly grow and be what you want to be as a brand, you have to have a team that works with you. And so like you have to give grace and say, not everybody has your same mindset, not everybody has your same talents, not everybody has your same drive, and then kind of give leeway for that, but still keep your expectations to what you want it to be because it's your brand, regardless of who, what, where is working for you or partnering with you. So that's
Absolutely.
100% true. 100% true for sure. I just can't get over that you're like literally sitting in your studio. Hashtag goals. I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I can't really see it. I understand it, but it's
Mhm.
just here, and I'm just
Right. It's like it was just another check off the list. You know what I'm saying?
I had plans, and I'm doing it now. And anytime I have any interviews or anything, I'm like, yeah, of course I'm gonna do it here. Why not?
Right.
Why,
Right.
why
Right.
not right here? It's only right, right?
Right. So you talking about interviews and campaigns and all that other good stuff. I saw you have done a lot, like you do your own fashion shows, and I'm like, pick me. I want to walk one day, right? And I see you in Forbes, and I see you doing all these amazing things. Talk a little bit about that process.
Well, I mean, the show, okay, so the fashion show thing, I'll start with
Mhm.
that. That actually is like, again, I'm also big on not being perfect and being able to adjust to environment. So before I did clothing, I was actually a promoter. I was a party promoter. So I had to dial attention that way. And I learned that, you have to kind of pull at people's emotional strings sometimes. And my best event would be my birthday party because, people come out to see me on my birthday. So as I started to move towards fashion and I did like 2 or 3 shows, I'm like, this is where I need to be if I want to be able to show everybody my stuff without like putting it down their throat and texting everybody like, oh, this is what I just dropped. No, for them to get this experience, it's a lot different when you have experience. So I was like, okay, one year I had my party usually be a nighttime party. I started earlier, had food and had the clothing. So I kind of force fed them the fashion part, but still gave them the party part. And over a couple of years now, it's more so the fashion and
Mhm.
party is the minimal part.
Right.
That's how it kind of did. And I wanted to set my own stage because now I am doing Fashion Week, New York.
You took the question right out of my head. Go ahead. You
I
doing
just
fashion
remember
week?
I am doing Fashion Week.
Like I just remember, something light.
Yes. That's
It's
my first.
February, men.
That's my first New York one. I did CT Fashion Week too, I believe, a
Mm-hmm.
while back. But I'm outside of the box, so I'm not like, I don't really do seasons all that much. I'm not
Right.
like releasing my stuff when everybody else is releasing their stuff.
Right.
I release shorts in the winter. I don't care. That's how I feel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I need to have my own stage to present the stuff. Fashion
Right.
Week is September. I'm dropping in October. It's like
Mm-hmm.
cool. So that's kind of why I set that stage. And then I also used to have performance and I
Mm-hmm.
had other brands. So I really wanted to use my platform for everybody else. And then what was part two of your question? Part two.
I was talking about you were on Forbes and on these.
Yes. So
You go ahead, listen.
I'm also I'm
Mhm.
also really, really big as a party promoter, I'm really big on not doing too much self-promotion. So like
Mhm.
anything I'm saying to you now, I'd only be saying because I'm getting asked.
Right.
So I feel like it's a bet if someone has to come and tell you how amazing they are, maybe they aren't as amazing. That's Listen, to each own. I like it when someone else can brag about me. I mean, it's
You not lying. Yeah.
you have no reason to like big me up. I'm gonna speak. I have bias against myself, of course. So for
Mhm.
somebody else to speak on it is great. So I always want to expand, and I feel like the best way to expand is you can hear about this guy and say he makes clothes, but if you see him on Forbes or Channel 4 or Channel 7 or Young Thug or Jim Jones on Drip Report, I feel like because I have the pictures up there, I
I'm
feel
just
like
saying,
that helps.
listen, we over here we brag different. Go ahead.
That that helps. I feel
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
that's a better conversation. Like I don't have to,
Mhm.
to a point where I don't have to introduce myself. You'll just know the name. I feel like it's better.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne is not gonna walk up to you and say, "I'm Lil Wayne." You know who he is.
Right.
And you're gonna respect him, and
Right.
that's what I strive for. So
Mhm.
I back myself to let me make sure that my kind of promotion, my kind of PR is that.
Right. No, and you do a phenomenal job because, like I said, it takes a lot to impress me, and I'm just like you. But when I saw the studio video, I was like, you better go ahead. And when I saw your Forbes and all those things that you're doing, it really makes me proud. Like I don't know you personally yet, anybody besties. I'm just saying, but but I love to see people that are same color as me, that are from the same area as me, like winning. It's like it's really a beautiful thing to see. And I actually saw you the first time on Late Night Therapy, and I was like, oh, okay. And I went and I followed you. I'm like, oh, okay, he's fired. And I
Yeah,
was like, wow.
wow.
And so to see you continuing to thrive and still having success and continuing to grow, it's just a really beautiful thing to see. And I want you to continue because
Of
it inspires me to be bigger and better every 5 seconds of the day. I'm just saying. So what would you say to someone that wants to get into the fashion industry and start their own brand?
I would say a lot, but number one thing I'm gonna say to someone is you have to love this. Don't love money, love clothes, love creation. Because if you do it just for money, you're gonna be sadly, more than likely, you're gonna be sadly mistaken that first couple of months, first release, where it's just not it. And I could go on and on about a bunch of quotes, but I think that's number one. Because it's really hard to transition from whoever you are to the brand you build, because people don't see that. Like, it takes a while. And I always like to tell people in any business that it's unfair how we can go to high school, leave high school and go to college and have 4 years to figure it out, not get paid, or even work at an internship and just learn. But when it comes to a business, we are not allowed that grace period. And I try to tell people that when you start this business, treat it like such. Give yourself 3-4 years to really mess up, fuck up. I mean, hopefully you have the financial backing that you can do that, but take them 4 years to really understand what's going on. And it took me about 3.5 to finally hit some kind of ground where it's like, oh, I understand forecasting. I understand I need to have this. I know when to restock something, when not to restock something. But that kind of gave me reassurance at that year, like, okay, I'm never having another job ever again. I know for a fact, and I'm 10 years strong, no job. So I know, like, okay, boom, that's it. So I would say, yeah, you got to love it. And you also got to be focused, not looking over the fence at whose grass is greener. You're beating yourself. You're your own competition. And that's it.
You said some things. First of all, you said forecast, and I was like, okay, he's my kind of dude. Like, like a lot of people don't understand that. Like, honestly, from a business perspective, people don't understand forecast, budgeting, cost of goods, like all of those things that are very important to know. Like a lot. So hearing you say forecast, I was like, my ears were like tingling. My spidey senses went off. Right? Because that's a very big deal. When you said 3 to 4 years, it stressed me out, child. Because I resigned in 2019, and I.
Listen, you can get the success early.
Yes.
Funny, I always tell people I do not wish you success early because it's a lot. It's more difficult to start off here
Yes.
and fall off and not know what the hell is going on down here. But if you
Yes.
gradual,
Yes.
start from the very bottom, and you have some bad seasons, you always know what to expect.
Yes.
If a millionaire goes broke or goes middle class in 1 week, he's done. But if
Right.
someone like us went to a millionaire and went back, we know the ins
What
and
to
outs.
do and how to
We
maneuver.
got
Yeah,
both
absolutely.
levels. And that's why I always give people, like, I wouldn't stress like overnight celebrity status for you.
Mhm,
It's a
mhm,
lot. It will kill you. It's a lot at
mhm,
one time. Your whole lifestyle changes. You don't know how to budget anything.
mhm,
I've been real mindful of that. Like, I know not to spend my personal money and the business money. I know when to not restock something again. And I
mhm,
know when something should make a return or not. So
mhm.
you learn
Yeah,
that from seeing,
right.
because like the power of broke, like my guy from Fubu says, like, the limited resources will teach you what's most important. You create the
Mhm.
best if you have limited resources.
You listen to you, I'm like, you're speaking nothing but 100% facts. Like it like gradual success. Yes, you want things now, and I'm
Mhm.
talking to myself, right? But
Go
but
ahead.
but you're right. In this time, in these past couple of years, I've made some money, right? Not where I want to be. Like what I made in the year, I want to make that weekly is the goal, right? But 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 you're right, and it gave me time to really sit and be with myself and evaluate who I am and what changes I want to make and what habits I want to break and all those other pieces, right? And so you're absolutely right. And when you are in that kind of growth phase, it gives you opportunity to really sit and understand and learn the pieces you need to learn so that you're not ever back in this space again. And then when you get that level of success, you have a whole nother level of gratitude for where
Amen.
you are in those times, right? So you're absolutely 150% right about that. But before we like wrap this up, what I wanted to ask you was tell us a little bit about your just your life journey in general. Like, because a lot of times we see the brands and we see the people and we see the social media, right? But we don't necessarily know the person 100% behind the brand. And that's who's really driving it, right? Like a lot of people don't know a lot about me. They just see me in my pictures and be like, oh, she's probably like stuck up and then I'm like the coolest person ever.
Mhm.
Unless you piss me off, it's another conversation. But guys,
Um, I'm just the average dreamer, honestly. I feel like, I'm from the Bronx. I grew up playing ball, being outside. 100,000 bad influences. Never really got caught up.
100,000.
150,000 bad influences there. And I just feel like I always knew what I wanted and what I didn't want. And I couldn't knock it no matter what. And anytime I went against my grain, it bothered me every single time. So I feel like even in the business world, I tell people I'm kind of the same person you see now because I'm very true to, my brand is me. I'm true to it. I'm very near and dear to my child. So, I always just followed whatever path. Like I said, I went from public public school, middle school, and I knew from the end of middle school, I seen how, I didn't care about academics as much. So instead of going to my zone school where all my bad friends was going, I decided to go to a school far away. And I knew I always kind of had like the one up to think of something smart to do to save myself. I knew that I'm in the Bronx and if I go to St. John University in Queens, my mom would be forced to help me get a car. So I did that, even though it took almost half my time going there for the side I hear. But I always was strategic with stuff like that. And then I knew once I finally got a job, I didn't like the feeling, the entrapment and all that. And it just, once
Where did you work?
the clothing, it was just like, okay, yeah, this is it. So I just really be true. I feel I would call myself a pretender. And a pretender means as in someone that really likes something, go completely headfirst and submerge in it, and that's what they become. And I feel like for most part, everybody, if you're into fashion, go to fashion shows, dress up, shop, do thrifting, go completely submerge into the field, and you'll come out. You don't have to be a designer. You could be a sewer. You could be a model. You could be a photographer. There's so much things. I've touched each and every single bit of this fashion world. I was extremely interested, and I wasn't getting paid to do it. I just did it.
Right.
So that's just who I am.
So when you said you had a job, what jobs did you have?
So okay, I for the record, I threw away all my interview clothes, and my resume is God knows where it is. I'll tell you one thing. Before I even tell you my job, I remember that the day I decided I wanted to do clothing, I said, yo, it's either two things. Because if I go into I don't want no plan Bs. Because, you have a degree in I have a degree in accounting. And it's like, end of the day.
No wonder why we're besties. I did accounting for like 15, 20 years.
Oh my God. Wow. Crazy world. Craziest world. So, end of the day, I just thought about it like, yo, if I leave this gap in my resume, it's gonna be harder for me to get a job. So that's gonna force me to stick to this. I'm like, okay, because it's already hard to get a job out of school. So, I don't know, like it just really, really, it's an emotional thing. I can't even like some words don't even make it make sense.
Yep.
Sometimes, like when I really think about it, like, oh man. Like you just really made me go back to a time just now. That really just woke me up a little bit. Like, wow, like wow, like I'm really here right now, living like crazy. But
right.
I will tell you, my very first job was summer youth, and I worked in the kitchen at Montefiore. Montefiore first. It was horrible. I just got the job because my mom wanted me to get a job. It was horrible.
Right.
Next job was after, I'm gonna tell you, every job I ever had except for my very last one was seasonal.
Mm-hmm.
First job was summer. The
Mm-hmm.
next job I did was Sears as a
Mm-hmm.
cashier, and it was holiday season. The
Mm-hmm.
next job was Toys R Us. This
Mm-hmm.
probably was a job that taught me that you don't matter at all.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had a group. I probably was in the park Thursday, and my friend told me about a job. I applied for an interview. They told me to come for the interview the same day. I said no. Came the
Mm-hmm.
next day, and
Mm-hmm.
we're in a room with like 20 people, and came in the room, barely knew anybody's name, and said all y'all hired. Like, huh? First day of work is Black Friday.
Right.
Great. I don't know where I'm going, what I'm doing, who's I'm working with. Nothing. Winging it.
Mm-hmm.
Never got a
Mm-hmm.
tag. Seasonal. They don't ever tell you it's done. They just stop calling. Wow.
Wow.
Amazing. So, I said forget jobs for a while. And then I ended up, I got out of school maybe like a year, no, 2 years after I graduated. I got my first accounting job, not for profit, and I hated it. I have a car. I can't park in Manhattan. The train, the clothing, the boss, the old folks who don't know how, the printer's out of paper. That's why it's not working. The expensive, the temp agency that gave me the job, everything sucked.
Right.
And the day I got off, the feeling I got, the euphoria I got to get laid off was just, whoa, nah, yeah, this is definitely not for me. So
I know
I'm
exactly
just,
what you're talking about. Let me tell you something. So I've been working since I was like 15. I worked at a law firm as an accounting clerk at 15 when I was going to Evander because I was getting out of school at 10 in the morning. So I got stopped by truancy every time because they're like, "Why are you out of school?" And I'm like, "Here's my schedule. I'm graduating. Like, calm down." Right. And so I did accounting clerk. Then I worked at Playland over the summer, whatever the case may be. So I met amazing people in Playland. And then I had my kid, and that was another conversation. But then I worked at Club Monaco with Hello Fashion. I was in Club Monaco for like 2 or 3 years. I used to sell like $5,000 to $8,000 worth of clothes every day for them. And then I was like, yeah, I'm like, you're not paying me enough, and I don't feel appreciated. So I'm gonna give myself. It was June. I'm giving myself to August to get a new job. I don't know where I'm going, what I'm doing, but that's what I'm out of here. Literally August, I got hired for a hotel. One of the people that I worked with at Club Monaco, she had another job as a supervisor at a hotel. She's like, please come work for me because you are like amazing. I didn't know that girl outside of Club Monaco, right? So for her to say that, I'm like you said earlier, other people being able to talk you up is like, it shows who you are, right? And so then I worked at the hotel, and I was like, as soon as I get anywhere, I'm like, all right, so where's the promotion that I want, and how am I gonna get to the top? Like anytime I got a job, right? Playland, I got promoted all the way to auditor with Playland. So I was working in the office. Yeah, that's just how I function. So within 4 years, 5 years, I was regional accounting manager. So I was overseeing 7 properties. And then I was like, I'm not really feeling this. I don't like being in the office. Like I like the operational side. So that was 2015, 2016. I'm like, I want to be a GM. And then by 2018, I was a GM. I was a GM, then GM. Did that for a couple of years. And I was like, this is not it. Like, it's no longer aligned to my purpose. I feel like I hit a glass ceiling. I was like you said, there was so many emotions you couldn't really speak to. What that's literally what happened. And I literally wrote my resignation letter on Monday, sent it on Wednesday, and when I left that building, I was stressed. Like, what am I going to do? I had no plan. I was like, I know I want to focus on my business, Maximum Evolution. I was an author. I wrote, by that time I was probably like a 15-time author, being in other people's books, and I was just like, I want to focus on my own business. Like, why am I building their legacy? Because I'm hearing the behind the scene conversation with the CEO and how you already know the vibes and how that goes sometimes. Yeah, so when I left, it just felt so like you said, the euphoria. Yeah. Oh my God. I went from 6 figures to no figures, and I was still like, this is the best day of my life. Like, you know what I mean?
I'll tell you, you gotta sit back and say, what is the cost of my freedom? What is the cost of that 1 hour of my day? What does it
Yes.
cost?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes, like 150%. And like you said, people ask me all the time, like, are you gonna get a job? And I'm like, yeah, no, never. I could never see myself working for people. Like, I can't. Like, I can work with you, I can partner with you, but like me, like working for another organization in any kind of way would just like, I would feel like I'm literally dying inside, right? So we're like on the exact same page. And then you said, literally, you're like the emphasis of this book, going from employee to empire, right? And you're still continuing to grow and scale. And so what's next for you?
As of right now, it's a lot of doubling back, more so
Mhm.
community. Well, all right, it's a lot. So the community stuff, I'm back home, so I want to focus on like I'm gonna kind of resonate a little bit.
Mhm.
So funny, all of this happened today. So next week I'm supposed to go speak for to a couple of classes from one of my friends who actually was a footwear designer. He helped me with my first shoe design.
Mhm.
He sketched the very first one. I was like, I
Mhm.
don't ever get that much help. He was one of the few people who asked me to speak to his class.
Mhm.
So I'm sure, why not? I'm supposed to sign a contract to actually speak, like be a professor low key, which is crazy. Actually teach like a design class as well.
Yes, that's
I used to enjoy
amazing.
speaking at schools, but the COVID thing just
Yes.
happened. I was speak to at one again. I used to enjoy doing that a lot. Like I go
Mhm.
into a college course and be like, "Yo, y'all wasting y'all money. Get out of here." And they loved it. They loved it, and it was great. I always wanted to do that. Woo.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So after that, I plan throughout the year. I want to do a lot of community based stuff like Thanksgiving come back around. I'm gonna do a turkey, chicken giveaway. I might do a coat drive. Back to school. I'm actually working on making my own composition notebooks, and I already have my own book bag. And I want to be able to give like maybe 100 or a couple away, or partner with a school, my old school or whatever, and give that away for school. But it's still branding. But at the same time, I want to do that. And the biggest thing I have planned right now that I've never done before, that's I'm working on at this very moment, is McFly Fest, and that's supposed to
Mm.
be my event in June. I always do my fashion show in October, and it's like I do that event. Everybody's been hungry for a whole year, so I want to give them something in June. Whereas an outdoor event, and the event is free if you come in my clothes. You are only allowed in my clothes. If you come in the door with something else on, you pay for your shirt and you put that on. We'll hold your stuff for you, or you can purchase. It'll be close to sale. You could purchase, but you have to put it on now because when we get that look, it has to be a big, huge commercial, and there'll be giveaways. There'll be food, drinks, games, and I want to
Do
do
you
a
know
lot.
how smart that is? Like, do you just hear it's gonna be all right? First of all, I
It,
need y'all to hear this. Cause I need y'all to
it,
hear this. Like, people
it
just like,
is so. I always try to like bring all worlds together. Or again, it's about solving problems. Okay, I have one event, and people be hungry for another one. People want. I have friends that have kids that are fans of mine, and they don't ever get to come out. And it's like this is all ages. And at the same time, I want to actually have performances and have a little kids runway for kids to model right there and show off the new stuff. Because kid clothes is better for summer to me. But that's and then
mm-hmm.
outside they're doing more. Going to
Right,
school, most of them is wearing uniforms, so it's not that big.
right.
So it's solving a problem. So I can introduce the kids line. I could give away some clothes. Like even if I have extra stock of something, it's way easier to give that away in a more righteous way. Like, okay, all right, here's the day. Every hour we might give away 3 prizes. You win these games, you get these prizes. How many your higher score, you get these prizes. And I just want to now, it's not just the product. If I just gave you the product for free, the slides for free, I got some free slides. Oh, I won that at McFly Fest when I did this and that and that and that. It's
Yes,
feeling.
yes.
But I also win to give you that feeling, and you're gonna return, and you're gonna post, and you're gonna talk
Mhm.
about it. And I got rid of product at the same time. And I can
Yes.
make so it's
Like
solving
you,
a lot more problems.
you
So
hit like the whole business model. Like you hit operations, you hit marketing, you hit branding. Like
I,
literally.
I'm gonna tell. I'm not even for you. I'll tell the viewers
Yeah.
that that's one thing that we gonna struggle with. That we don't
Mhm.
realize that what I just told you and what I planned. There's probably like 20 people in a boardroom planning what I just said, and I
Mhm.
can personally do all of that
Yourself.
myself. And I can
Listen.
go speak to the club owner and get the and he go get the permits, and I can name everything, and I can get the staff all by myself. If I
Mhm.
had $1 million company backing me, it'd be a different thing. But I'll work on it's cool. I'll work.
Listen, that's where we go. All right. So listen, anybody that I talk to that are either on my podcast, on my shows, whatever, I always say, tell me what it is that you want in the future, right? Because listen, over here we manifest and we bring things into existence, right? Like I don't know if you know Kellan, I've known him from Evander, and he's a photographer, and he's been my photographer from like 2017. All of my photos are from him, right? And we did a recording. I'm actually going to air it during this virtual launch, and We sat and I said, Tiny, what you want to do? What do you want to make happen? And everything that he said he wanted, he got it in that year. No exaggeration. No, like, no, you can go to his page and you'll see some of the clips that he posted to show proof. I said this in January 2020. So now we here. What do you want? I heard you say $1 million company backing. What do you want?
I won't lie. I do want a lot of collaborations. I do want to bring, like, I feel like a lot of the collab people do aren't honest, or it's like a money grab. I want to be able, that's another reason why I'm in the Bronx. It's actually like the very first step, because now I say to myself, like, hey, if Gucci, Louis come to me and want to do a collaboration, guess what? In my deal, not just Fifth Ave gonna have it, the Bronx gonna have it. So all y'all little resellers and all y'all little weirdos that they got to come line up in the Bronx on White Plains Road, I dare you, come.
Right.
Let them get it first, because we always out the loop for some reason. Why is that? So that's the very first thing. So I've created a lot of things where, I just want to be able to have that backing, and it can expand my name. I can bring the honest taste of it, because if anywhere that's not gentrified is here, they still our style and high market, and it's all back to us. Everybody, most designers pretend to be kids from New York. I'm really that, and I'm doing it here. Half the kids in LA, they from here, changed their life. They ran away from home.
Right.
This is what I'm really what it is. There's no middleman. I take the style and I sell it to you. That's exactly what it is. I'm not getting it from somewhere else.
Right.
So that's like the main focus. I just want.
You was very vague. Who do you want to collab with?
All right, so I'm not gonna lie. I would love to collab with Nike, Adidas. I'm not. It's really a stretch. I'm not gonna put it down, but I would. Louis is my favorite, like, of those brands. I'm not really huge on big designer, but I love Louis. And honestly, it's not even more. And it is. I like Kith as well, but it's also like companies. Like I'm Simon McFly. I would love to collaborate with the Back to the Future campaign. I would really want to collab with the Yankees, because I'm in the Bronx. And that NY is the most popular symbol there is. And people still tie it into just New York, but no, it's in the Bronx. There's some respect.
What's the respect of my name?
And then there's like just people like Rihanna, Kanye, Tiana Taylor. Like, it don't really matter what it is, but I want to collab with them. I'm a creative writer in all aspects. So I want to be able to do these things.
Yeah. You're going to. You said Rihanna. Listen, I am Rihanna's #1 fan. I like Rihanna Navy till I like. I'm not claiming death over here, but I love Rihanna. And you said some Tiana Taylor, Kanye. I think they're like really great, like fashion houses, right?
Those are like
for their fashion.
And one thing I'm really big on is that usually when I like someone, I like them from the ground up. So like Tiana Taylor, we from the Bronx. I ran into her a couple of times as a kid. Before she did the Super 16, I liked her already. And like Kanye, I've been a fan of Kanye from the freshman adjustment, like before he bust, when All Souls Down came out, and all of those things. So like I'm a true fan. It's not like, I see you at the top and I like I liked you on your rise,
right?
On the jump before the hype. Like the people I like. So I also would love one day that I could design a Knicks jersey, because orange is my color,
right?
New York, I used to go to the MSG for those high school games.
Right, high school trips. I forgot about those. Did you go to the locker room or no?
I went to Kennedy. My friends played in that game. That's the only year I decided not to play ball on the team, and they won the chip that year. That's crazy. So I used to be a thing, like religiously. I also want to, on smaller scales, I want to collab with most schools that I went to. I want to do something with Kennedy. Not so much St. John University. They have enough money. But like my high school, I feel like high school made me like kind of more full circle of who I am. And then also like on a lower scale, like the Jamaican shop across the street from me, the guy's son, he buys from me. And then he needed shirts for his workers, and he gave me like this logo. It was horrible. I just redesigned everything and made a new shirt. And I walk by and I see him wearing the shirts I made for them. It's dope. I just did Lehman High School's basketball classic. I want to be able to do different high schools in the Bronx. I want to do just like the old Jamaican patty shop down the block that I've been going to since I was 4 years old. Ironically, now that I think about it, it's very possible because the son of the shop was a model in my show. I want to be like,
Wow.
design your thing for
Mhm.
you guys. Or
Mhm.
even be like, I want to go to my old chicken spot and be like, yo, let's make up on some McDonald's, some hood McDonald's type joint, like have a Mugzy McFly meal. We're gonna have some bad girls in there dressed up, serving your hot wings and French fries, and you
Not
will make
Kennedy.
money. And it would like, but think about it, that's
Yes,
honest.
that's
It's
very
honest,
no.
and you
That's
have the most
so
preppy people running
that's
to the
so
hood to
fire.
go to the chicken spot.
Right. No, I
But when
literally
I
when you
reach
said that.
when I reach to the point where it's like, all right, it's gonna be hysteria when I touch something, I'm not giving it to McDonald's.
Yep.
I want to give it to my people first.
Yes.
Well, this is where I used to be in when it's raining and it's snowing
Mhm.
and I have no car. I'm sitting in the Chinese
With the
store right
Kenny
now.
spot, right?
Why not? Why not? These people don't need it. They're gonna dispose of you. They're gonna use you and you get somebody else. I want y'all.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. And when you said the store that I went to when I was 4, like that made me think like I go to Three Boys. I've been going there since I was like
Oh,
2
see,
years old.
look. And I want to do that for a pizza place on 227th. Listen, I'm telling you, that's exactly how it is. Like Richie Rich, Gold Star, all these people, they know me by face. You know, they know me by face. So, you know, and that's another thing. Like, it is a part of my story. Like, my mom is military, and she was active duty throughout my whole college tenure.
Yeah.
And I had to go to these different food places, and he used to know me by face because they knew what I
Mhm.
want because I'm there every other day. So
Mhm.
why not? I made it
Yeah.
through that. Y'all were my mother at that time. Let me get
Right.
back to y'all. So
Yeah.
that's like things I want to do. It don't
Mhm.
matter if they realize who and what I am or whatever later on, but I know this is honest. So when I
Mhm.
reach where I want to, where it's like, okay, all right, I'm established at the fashion and everything. Now let me just do these other little things to just
Mhm.
back up before
Yeah.
anybody else comes and buys it up and takes it away from us. You know?
Right. Yeah. No, I love all of that. All the things you said, I'm like, yeah. And I see it as like you can literally do all those things.
I
Like
mean,
I
the
in
thing
my
about
mind,
it is
yeah,
I
yeah.
can do that now. I just
Yes.
want to do it to the level, at a level where it's like it's hysteria. Like
Mhm.
this store is gonna be like, yo, we're good for a year and a half because of that one day.
Mhm.
Like that's how
Mhm.
crazy I want it to be.
No, like yeah, I see it all. Like that's all. Like forget possibility. You're going to accomplish all of those things. Like you're gonna make it
Those are
happen because you
all
already have the ethic already, and you already have accomplished so much at this stage. Like when you scale and get to wherever it is that you want to be, like you're gonna make all those happen. I already see Rihanna wearing a big. I already see it all. Like Rihanna, Tiana, Kanye, all the collabs you want, it's going to happen because you are like you already have created a staple brand as is. It's only right that those people get. So I need you to ship some stuff to them like today. And then,
It's so funny because each of these people are like one, I believe, of separation. Like, you know, how far they are, one, two people away. Everybody is. It's just I'm,
Mhm.
I'm just really big on relationships, so I don't really rush
Mhm.
too much things.
Yep.
I didn't end up falling on my lap. I DM rappers in 2018, and then they write me last year like, "Yo,
Mhm.
I need this." It
Mhm.
happens.
Mhm.
Everything happens for a reason. I don't.
Absolutely.
I just keep the good energy and make the product speak. And hey, we're gonna be in the same room one day. So
Exactly. Period. I love that. I love that. So tell the people how to connect with you, your website, your IG, all of the platforms. I'm gonna give you a stage, okay?
okay. So the website is samamcfly.com. Of course, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok is Mugzy McFly. You can Google Mugzy McFly, everything will pop up. The brand page is also Instagram, Samba McFly. It's also on Facebook as well. I'm very easy to find. If you need some advice, some help, DM me. Just don't be too weird. Keep it calm. You know, I answer, and I'm here to help. Even better if you're in New York or in the Bronx. That's even better because we could just connect. I want to be the guy I needed when I was coming up, and I didn't have the help. So come find me.
Yeah, and give one last hurrah, bit of advice for the people that are just like ready to jump and just ready to get to the next level, or maybe even struggling in this time. I'm gonna give you the stage. Yeah.
Okay, so one of my favorite things to say is if you don't ask for a lot, that's exactly what you get, and that just says if you don't want a lot from life, you won't get a lot from life. You know, if I sit here and I just told you all the amazing things I really want, I have to strive and ask for those things and seek those things and be hungry for those things to ever get them. If I'm just like, I'm okay, we're just doing a collab with the guy down the block or making, this one sale a day. then that's where I'm gonna be stuck at. If I don't aim high, I will never reach high. And that's just it. And I feel like even if you don't make it, just having that no ceiling idea, platform, or mindset is what you need to accomplish everything. And you know, the amazing, amazing people, the winners are the ones who survive the drop. That's it.
Yeah, listen. First of all, like so I've met a lot of different people. I've met a lot of different business owners. One, within my career, I've met a lot of different individuals, right? Working in a hotel, you meet people from, like, I had a family that was like, come stay with us in Peru, and I'm like, I don't even know you like that, right? So I've met a lot of I've met a lot of people, and like to hear all that you've said and all that you've accomplished, like I'm like sincerely proud. Like it really makes me proud to see you out here making the strides, accomplishing the things, like just out here in heavy action. And like you said, like a lot of people, they don't understand that conceptually. Like they don't understand the grind. They don't understand, like you said, 10 years in the game. Like they don't understand that, right? And they don't understand maybe the tears, the sacrifices, all the things that you had to put in place to get to where you are. And so that's why you're thriving and will continue to succeed, because you've been at it from the ground up. And I'm excited to see your continued success and your new accomplishments. I can't wait. Listen, when Rihanna, okay, has on your stuff, I will be like, oh my gosh. I will be so excited, right? And so I wish you continued success. Keep pushing forward. Listen, I'll still be liking and posting and anything that I can collab with you. I'm working on a magazine, so just okay. So whatever we can collab on, I'm here to support you in any way. So I thank you for coming on this platform and being a part of this book project. Like I said, you are the epitome of employee to empire. And so I appreciate you. And before we wrap this up, I'm going to give y'all the video trailer one more time, because, I just love doing some marketing and promo. That's why I feel like we can be besties too, because we're on the same page in that. Here you go, beautiful people. Today, beautiful people. I hope you enjoyed watching this episode as much as I enjoyed creating it for you. Until next time, we'll be back. Don't worry, don't go too far. We'll be back. Stay tuned and make sure you go to employeetoempire.com to buy your copy of our lovely book. And as you see, I had the amazing Mugzy McFly. He is phenomenal, and I appreciate his time and his energy and his support on this project. And until then, see you. Bye, beautiful